Hi guys! Today I'll be showing you how to make ube chiffon cake. And the ingredients that we need are 2.5 cups of cake flour. The brand that I use is Lighthouse, which looks like this. And that we need 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of ube flavoring, which looks like this, 1 teaspoon of salt, gel food color, which is violet, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of oil, 3/4 cup of milk, half a cup of ube or purple yam, which I rehydrated. If you wanna know how did I make it, watch my video on making crinkles. And then I've got 8 egg yolks. First thing we need to do is to combine the dry ingredients, which is the cake flour, baking powder, and salt. You can mix this or sieve it just like I did. Then set this aside. Then combine the wet ingredients, which is the ube flavoring, the milk, and the oil. Give it a mix and then set this aside as well. Now we're gonna beat the egg yolks. Then we will gradually add the sugar. Now once the sugar is all added in, we will continue to beat this until the egg yolk is pale in color and light. Okay, the egg yolks is now ready. We can then add the purple yam or ube. Continue beating this until there's no more visible lumps of the ube. Now it's done. Now we're gonna add the flour mixture and the wet ingredients. Start by adding the flour using a folding method to mix it. And then about 1/3 of the wet ingredients. So do this process about 3 times or until we finish up the dry ingredients and wet ingredients. Just do the folding method in mixing it. And now we're gonna add the gel food coloring. I added about 5 to 7 drops of the food color. This will just make the cake vibrant purple. And now we're gonna move on to our meringue mixture. I've got 8 egg whites in here. And then I'm gonna beat it until it's frothy. Once it's frothy, we can add a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then gradually add 3/4 cup of sugar. Once the sugar is all in, continue beating until we reach the steeping stage. This is now the steeping stage. See, like the peaks is forming. And like when I move the bowl, the meringue is not going anywhere. So it's time to combine the two mixture. Since the purple or yam and ube mixture is heavier, I'm gonna add about a third of the meringue mixture first, just to lighten up the batter. Okay, now that there's no more visible strikes of meringue, we can now then add this to the entire bowl of meringue. And then again, the same process of folding until everything is well combined. And this is now ready to be baked. I've cut two 8-inch round cake tin pan which I lined with parchment paper at the bottom, but I did not grease this pan. Something to remember. Then bake this at a preheated oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, or until when you insert a toothpick in the middle of the cake and the toothpick comes out clean. Every oven is different. Before baking, just give the pan a good tap just to release some air bubbles. Just like so. And this is what it looks like after baking. Again, like any other chiffon cake, you have to flip the pan upside down and leave this to cool down completely. For the icing, I use Swiss meringue buttercream. I'm not gonna show the entire process of making it, since 2 weeks ago I made the video for making the mocha icing, which is the same process. The only difference is instead of putting coffee and chocolate, I'm gonna put the ube flavoring to the Swiss meringue buttercream. I'll put the link below if you want to see it. Now I'm just gonna get about half a cup of buttercream. I will reserve this for the topping or decoration of the cake later. Now I'm gonna add about 1.5 teaspoon of ube flavoring. And then mix this until everything is well combined. This is now ready. We can set this aside. The cake has completely cooled down. One important thing that we should do is to put this in the freezer for at least 30 minutes. This will make the cutting process easier. So now I'm ready to slice the cake. First, I'm gonna cut the top part or the dome part because I want the cake to be flat. You can use this for cake pops or something like that. And now we will cut the cake in half. We're only gonna be needing 3 layers of the cake. So the other, the leftover, we will process it for decoration. I'll show you later. Now we can start icing the cake. Just do a thin layer of the icing. You don't need a lot in here. Then put the second layer. And now the third layer. Then we can start icing the side. You can start icing on the top if that's easier for you. And now we can start icing the top. So we have now then covered the cake with icing so we can start the decorating process. So I did this decoration but I'm not feeling it, so I removed the top and start redecorating it. So I'm using a cake comb that I'm running on the sides of the cake. I'm doing it on an angle so it doesn't take out all the icing on the cake. Just like this. See, it's on an angle, not direct to the cake, not directly on the cake. And then I'm gonna do the same process on the top of the cake. And this is the excess part of the cake that I crumble using the food processor. Now we're gonna put this as a decoration on the sides of the cake, but only halfway. I don't want to cover the entire cake with the crumbs. This can be very messy. Now using the plain buttercream that we set aside before, start piping a rosette. I'm using 1M piping tube here. And just for extra decoration, this is optional. You can put glazed cherries in the middle of each rosette. And this is our finished product. Looks like Christmas to me. And then just to show you what it looks like inside. You can put coconut strings or what do you call that? Bakapuno if you want to. I hope you give them a try. And for those people who's been requesting this, here you go. This is really good, so you'll not regret making this. Again, thank you. Bye.